Hello my spooky pickles, how we doing? So I have a story for you. It's not my story, but it is a story. And a warning. So I'm sure you're aware I'm a bit witchy, but there's certain things I will not mess with. One of them being love spells. Not only are they quite unethical because you're taking away someone else's right to choose, even if you try and do it in like a more free will way, there's not really a free will ethical way to do a love spell. Either way, you are influencing someone's emotions. So let's not do that. If your feelings are unrequited, I'm very sorry, and it is painful, but that is part of life. So don't try and force something. And also, there's good reasons, and you're about to find out with this story. Okay, so I'm changing names and things around the story. So the places are different, the people's names are different, just, so I'm not giving people's information away. But there was a girl, let's call her Olivia, and she was madly, or she thought she was madly in love. She had a massive crush basically on this guy. Let's call him Olivia and Oliver. There you go. The boy's called Oliver, just for the sake of the story. And let's say he's a librarian. They're quite young. You do get young librarians as well, by the way. But yeah, they're both kind of early 20s. She has a big crush on him. She thinks she's in love with him. He is a very nice guy and all that, but yeah, she thinks she's in love with him. And she's tried everything, and he's perfectly polite to her and friendly and, nice to her, but he just isn't interested in her for whatever reason, which is fine. But she's desperate to have him. And she tells her friends, and like, look, he's nice and he's friendly, but he's clearly just not interested in you. There's loads of other people that would be, find your person. She doesn't want to hear that though, because no one really wants to hear that they can't get what they want, especially Olivia. So she's determined, and she finds the Say Witch, and she says, this is what I want to happen. And she's warned, are you sure you want this? She's like, yes, I'm definitely sure. I'm definitely sure, because she's never done magic or spells. She doesn't feel like she is confident enough to do a spell of this magnitude on her own. So the witch says, okay, well, I'll do it, but there are going to be consequences, and it might not be what you think. It might not end the way you want. I'm going to give you a day to think about it. She takes a day or two. She comes back, still adamant she wants to do this spell. So alright then, well, I'll do this working, but it probably can't be undone. Once it's done, it's done. Olivia's like, alright, great, yeah, that's exactly what I want. I don't want it to be undone. Do it. So she does the spell. Now, I'm not going to tell you I do know how to do them. Multiple different ones. I haven't, and I wouldn't. So the witch does the spell is all I'm going to say to you. She does the spell. She gives Olivia some instructions to do. No, I'm not going to tell you what they are, but there are some specific instructions that Olivia has to do as well. She does them, which, says give it a day or two, and then you'll see the results. Sorry, I've got really tickly nose today. So Olivia follows the instructions, does what she's supposed to do. She gives it a day or two, then she goes to the library, and she finds Oliver. And at first he's just, perfectly polite and friendly, and, he gives her a wave and a smile like they always do as she goes. And after she's there for a while, she's feeling a bit disheartened, because she's like, oh, well, it hasn't worked. He's just been normal to me. But then he comes up to her and asks her on a date. So she's thinking, oh, right, okay, maybe it's going to work. And the date goes really nice, goes really well. They start dating. I'm trying to be sort of quick because, of course, I'm using a filter. I've not been feeling well, so sorry. So yeah, they go on a date. It goes really well. they start dating. It's all going really well. She's thinking, oh, what was this warning about? Everything's absolutely fine. Getting on really well with my friends. We're doing really well. My parents like him, all that. So it's been a few months. Like I said, they've introduced parents, this, that and the other. But then slowly, ever so slowly, disarmingly, things start to go a bit strange. So Olivia starts to notice he's a bit possessive. Like, it's not that he won't let her go out or anything, but he always wants to be out with her. And she likes the odd girly night with her and her friends, even if they're not going out to like a bar, you know, just like a girls' movie night, this, that and the other. But he's always insisting he has to be there now. It's like, oh, it hurts to be away from you. So at first she thinks it's sweet, but then she's like, it's feeling a bit stifling. But then she thinks, well, no, it's sweet. This kind of thing continues. And then he starts to get really possessive and controlling. Starts looking at her phone. And at first she's like, well, I've got nothing to hide, I'll show him my phone. But he starts making something out of nothing. And he always has to be by her side. And even if someone looks at her, she hasn't done anything, but if someone else looks at her, they end up in a big argument because someone else has looked at her. You can see where this is going. And it starts to get quite, I don't want to say the word on here, but a DV situation. And she slowly, now this has taken a few months to happen, but she slowly starts to realise, oh, that's what the witch was trying to tell me, that's what she was talking about. And she thinks, right, well, I'll just end it. I'll just end it and we'll explain, and I'll do some sort of cleansing ritual that she's probably looked up online. And that does not go well at all. It all kicks off. She has to call the police. She has to install cameras. He won't leave her alone. He keeps calling, keeps texting, keeps coming over to the house. She has to keep calling the police. It gets really unpleasant for her. She tries cleansing rituals, doesn't work. She contacts the witch again. She says, I did tell you. And I told you there's no way to undo it. Once you force someone's will, you can't put it back. You can't give them the will back again. And turns out that this young man ends up badly hurting himself because the pain of living without Olivia is too great. And it just, she ends up feeling awful. He's not in a good way. And basically for the rest of her life, she's basically getting stalked from this young man. And it's just a vicious circle no matter what she tries. Some things help, some things ease up for time and, you know, lessen the intensity of his stalking, I suppose you could say. But life is just never really the same again. So, before you do anything, especially a spell or a love spell, really think, is it really what I want? And if someone tells you there's consequences, you might not always understand what those consequences are until it's too late. Never, ever try and affect someone else's will. I'm all for using the craft for opening doors and opportunities and protection and, you know, enhancing your own abilities and life that affects you. Don't ever try and impose your will on someone else's though, because it just won't work the way you think it will. So obviously I've changed some details about this story, but it's basically how people get into toxic cycles and relationships, and it can go really badly. My time is running out anyway, but just don't try and impose your will on other people. Don't do love spells. Take the warning, and I hope you enjoyed the story. I'll be back with lots of creepy, spooky things are coming. I love you all my spooky pickles, and I'll see you soon.